Hello and welcome back to Absolver. I'm Zoe as usual, although I may be someone different later. You never know. I need to make a slight correction for the last episode. I said that we faced the second marked one, and given the order that I took them in, that is correct. However, Ama is listed as the third marked one, so that was a slight mistake on my part. And now we're going to head off for another marked one. And he's in here. And I really don't like this guy. And yeah, Angrel is the actual second marked one, although he's the third for us. And as you can see from the blue glow, okay, I've said before that the circle dodge is practically useless. That's a fine example of what I'm talking about. I can keep stepping backwards, but it really does me absolutely no good. But as you can see from the blue aura that he projects, he's a member of Cult. And that's one of those charged up moves I mentioned before. One of the things that makes an NPC cult very frustrating is that they can pretty much have unlimited use of their ability. And when you combine that with the fact that he has the almost unlimited health pool, he can be a very frustrating fight. I forgot to mention in the previous episode that whenever you fight marked ones, you also get other abilities that unlock. When I fought Rivario, I got the Earthquake ability, which is activated by pressing right on the D-pad, and you can get to those by way of the inventory, and then you go to the powers menu, and you can choose your other powers from here. Now, I'll just go through them. Earthquake, basically you punch the ground, it causes a small set of yellow fractures, temporarily staggers opponents. It's useful for, especially in situations where you're facing multiple NPCs and they're not giving you any breathing room or chance to attack. You can trigger the earthquake to stagger all of them and then either get some distance or finish off one of them to try and even the odds a little bit. Exhaust is pretty much what it says. It makes enemies consume more stamina for their actions for 15 seconds. Also very useful for somebody who's using a lot of fast attacks and is not giving you any opportunity to counterattack. This will drain them faster and force them to stop at some point. And this one is new. I have not seen this one before. Shield increases protection and reduces knockback for 20 seconds. I'm guessing that's a new ability that's been brought into the game, because as I said, I have not seen that before. But then again, there have been 3 updates in recent days, so maybe they are going to start bringing in some new stuff. Tempted to try that, but for the most part right now I don't really need it. You won't see me use Earthquake against most of the marked ones or bosses, because I really don't need it. Against regular players, yeah, definitely, but for NPCs, I just don't find them challenging enough to require the use of the special powers. And we're gonna do a little trip around to pick up some items. Hopefully, sometime soon I can get some Shabu guard pants, because those are my favorite. Uh-oh. Gotta make sure I don't fall in the water. Okay, so that's that. And here we go again. I suppose I could block for a little while and learn some moves. Okay, I'm pretty close to... Yep, there we go. Got a move unlocked. And that's good enough for now. Okay. Straight punch? I wanted the gay punch. Okay, that was a terrible joke. Yeah, I suppose I can wear that for right now. I don't have any weapons yet, as you can see, but as you face the named bosses, you'll get weapons for this. The brother and sister boss team will give you a sword. The other named boss, Kirk's, I believe his name is, will give you your first set of spiked gauntlets, and Rizrin will give you another sword, which has better durability, but also costs more shards to activate. As you level up, you do get more shards for a maximum of 5. So, gonna put that on, and then I'll go ahead and just go without a top. And I'm gonna take these instead of the prospect gloves. I believe I'm about to collect my my first mask out of the game in a cairn, whatever. But first, there's going to be some fighting involved, because there's usually 1 or 2 more lost prospects hiding out on these little, yep, there's one right there, on these ruined areas. And it is possible to die from falling off the side, which makes these fights a little more dangerous. Oh, ho, ho. I should have seen that coming. But fortunately for me, she's already done most of the work on this guy for me. Alright then. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm still gonna beat you to a bloody pulp. Alright. Yeah, they love to do that. That's something that that you see in a lot of video games. Dark Souls love that stuff too. You know, I'll put one enemy right where you can see him, so you feel like you're on top of the situation, and then tucked behind the corner, there's going to be 1 or 2 other enemies you can't see. Surprise! Yeah, and here's the first mask. You can pick up certain masks around the world, but most of the masks are actually dropped by the bosses, and you have to beat the bosses 3 times. And this is another one of those. It pretty much pushes you to do online stuff, because you have to beat the boss. Before you can face the boss again, you have to be up to, I think, level 20 in combat trials in multiplayer. Then you can go back around and face everybody again. And then you have to be level 50 to be able to do it again. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm level 60. Sorry, I'm level 45 in online, and then I'm level 60 as my character rank. And so I don't have any of the boss masks yet, but I do have half of Rizrin's outfit already collected, and it looks really good. I just feel a little frustrated at times with the fact that in order to get the good stuff out of the game, you have to spend so much time online, and it's a problem because some nights you can get online and you get a good connection, and all of the matches feel fluid and fun and balanced. And whenever you lose during those matches, it's because you've been outclassed. You can respect that. Well, I can respect that. anyway. But then there's the nights when you get in and every match is lagging, and so you don't stand a chance. So yeah, it tends to get frustrating precisely because through no fault of your own, you can't really get any new items. You can't advance. Now, losing matches will get you 1 point of experience, but that's you need 5 to get another level. Whereas if you win your matches, you get 3 for winning, and you can level up much faster. It's really, really frustrating to be online and to spend 2 hours to get enough levels to go face the bosses, and it's almost all through losses. And what makes it even more frustrating is the nights when I have a really good connection and lots of good matches, and I tend to win a lot of matches when the connection is good. But when the connection is bad, it is so frustrating because I will press buttons, but my character doesn't actually do anything on screen. I can't dodge, I can't punch, I can't kick. There are even times when my character is being knocked around despite the fact that I'm not seeing any attacks from my enemy either. So I haven't played on PS4 in about a week now, because I've been doing Dark Souls videos, and recording those and getting them uploaded has taken up most of my attention. But I just hope that they do get the lag issue resolved so that all the matches feel as good as the ones where there's a solid connection, because this game is so very satisfying when everything is going right. When you've got a good back and forth rhythm between you and another player, when you're feeling each other's decks out and trying to can I fill your deck? No. When you're just basically filling each other out and trying to prod for holes in their offense, it is really, really satisfying. Okay, so you missed. Okay, and this is the way towards the brother and sister named bosses. And this will basically clear out this whole region of marked ones and bosses. So that'll be the end of this episode. And obviously this can be a tricky fight because it's 2-on-1. There's a cutscene though, so I'll shut up.
Elire barsam fabel.
Nil defet erleg Betlem.
Koneka jut besom oi. Nil indi vektom ser.
Her, moder nosen galop.
Okay, that is one other little complaint about this game, and that is the enemy lock doesn't always work the way you think that it should. To my mind, if I'm locked on one enemy, all of my attacks should go towards that enemy. And yet, randomly, my character will strike out at another character. This can be hugely inconvenient at times. In particular, if my character tries to lash out at somebody who I'm nowhere in range of them, and so I'll end up turning my back on an enemy to punch at thin air, and then get punished for it with a kick to the back of the head by the enemy I was actually intending to attack. Uh-oh. Okay, now I gotta back off because I'm out of stamina. They're gonna pop swords soon, by the way, so if this looks like an easy fight, it's not. The thing about, if they pop swords, even if I block, I'll take damage. There we go, popping swords. So I want to put at least one of them down as quickly as... Ah, there's the switch. And note, I didn't actually switch targets. The game just randomly changed the... And, yeah. So... Okay, I gotta back up, back up, back up, back up. All right. That's the entire region unlocked. As you see, I unlocked a curved sword, so if I go to equipment, I can now arm a sword for, I believe it's 3? Yeah, 3 shards. And you may have also noticed that I've also now got a 3rd shard for beating the bosses. I believe Kurtz will give me my 4th shard, and Rizran will give me my 5th. And so I'll head back to the altar, but that is pretty much it for this episode. Oh, hey, look, it's an altar. Also, I think I unlocked another space in my combat deck. I need to check that. Oh, I have 6 attribute points. Maybe I should be using those. So Windfall is all about dexterity. If you look at the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see that there's letter scaling, somewhat like Dark Souls. Strength is an E scaling, dexterity is a C, and mobility is B. So mobility is very, very important for Windfall. And once you unlock other decks, each of those will have their own stats and numbers to take into account. Right now, as you can see, I don't have any other combat styles. The first one I'm going to be getting is at the end of the single player. I'll be able to unlock stagger style. But okay, I have some stats to distribute, and that's why you won't see me distribute a whole lot into strength, because strength for this style is just not that important. Will is how you build up focus faster, so I am going to go ahead and put a point into that. But I'm going to put the rest of my points into endurance, because the more stamina I have, the longer I can sustain a chain of attacks, or the longer I can block against other attacks. And that will complete this episode. So I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.